Hello viewers, welcome back to my YouTube channel, English and Literature with Carol. In case you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and let's keep learning. Today, I want us to look at English Paper 1, a KCSE preparation for candidates who are preparing for the KCSE in October this year. And also anyone that would be interested in earning or gaining the skills in writing an investigative report. There are normally two kinds of reports, but today I want us to emphasize on one. There is what you call the investigative report and what you call the oral report. In this sample here on my board, I have a sample of some of the highlights on the investigative report. So please pay attention and let's keep learning. Now, you may encounter a question. You have been appointed as a chairperson of a committee in your school, Kemi High School. The school has noticed that there is a very high rate of school dropouts. This is an issue that your principal calls upon you and tells you, go and form a committee so that you can do some investigations and bring back the report. That is where you can see in the title there, a report on why most students at Kemi High School drop out of school. That is what you would come up with. What is required of you for you to write a great report? Pay attention to the title of that report. That when the examiner wants to get information from you, there are three elements that you should take note of. That is the format, the content, and the body. The body is also the content and also the language. The format is normally learned. Like now, that's why you are here, so that you can learn the format. The content, you will get it from the question that has been provided for you. So make sure that you read that question properly. Like now, I have already given you that question. In this context, I'm assuming that you are the chairperson in a setup, in a committee that you have been elected by the principal of your school. So let's have, what would we have, for example? In this report, you would have the title there. A report on why most students at Kemi High School drop out of school. That report, you would have the introduction as a subheading. Those subheadings must be very intentional. You can even underline the title there. I can even do it here. I can underline it like that. So you underline your title because you want to highlight that. You can also underline the introduction. Those are the subheadings there. And you will see those subheadings. Now, with the subheadings, you are consciously looking out for the format marks. So you are looking out for introduction, the procedure. Those are the methods that you're going to use, and that procedure will have, maybe you want to use questionnaires, observation, the findings. And from there, now you will tell us which are the findings. And then you will tell us from that report, what did you find out? And then we will have the conclusion. Was there an issue? Was there a case of dropout? Or there wasn't? And then you'll have the recommendations, and then you tell us who compiled this report. Now, that one is just a slight summary of what this lesson will be like. Now, I want us to go back to the title. Now you have already told us a clear report. Identify which is this. What are you tackling? This one is a report that you're giving. You also identify the issue that you want to take care of. That is the students that are dropping out of school, and which is this institution. So that when someone looks at your report, is clear on that. Okay? Now from there, you will go to the introduction. This is where the principal asks, you can see I have mentioned, but I didn't complete. So you can say the principal asks Isaac Newton. Asked me Isaac Newton and 5 other committee members, namely, you mention the committee members, their names, and you number them. So that it will be very clear who are these people that were writing down this report, because you could not have gone to do all the research alone. So you will say the principal asked Isaac Newton, me as a chairperson, Isaac Newton, to come up with a committee and do a research on where there was a high dropout rate, school dropout rate at Kemi High School. Now from there, you will go to the methods of data collection. Now that you have been elected as people who are doing that report, those are 5 members that you have included there. So you will say, we used the following methods. Questionnaire. We printed out questionnaires and went to various students in different classes, asking them why they think students are dropping out. Maybe we also went to the students themselves that had already dropped out and gave them questionnaires, so that when we got back, we would read as a committee and see what was happening, so that people would drop out of school. We also made observation, maybe during in the evenings. Now you will be writing down those details there. In the evenings, we made observations of how students were relating with each other, the kind of influence they were having on each other, telling them there is very little to gain from in education. That's why they felt the general, maybe morale was not there. Maybe we made observation as committee members that students were more interested in small businesses than staying in school. So those are the methods of data collection, and you have literally gone out to go and collect that data. Remember, you are in an exam room, so you have to imagine yourself doing these activities with your members of the committee. You can also use other ways of trying to get information. It's not only the questionnaire and the observation that you will use. Maybe you had interviews. We held interviews with students and they gave out different perspectives and different information on why they are dropping out of school. Some girls were lured by boda riders. That's why they were dropping out of school. Some due to poverty. So you will tell us in the interviews, did you have your interview? Do you use your observation? Did you take videos? What did you do? Now from there, you will go to the findings. In this subheading here, remember all this information that you have been gathering here, you got that information and brought it together. Those are your findings. You found out that there was imminent maybe poverty in the area. There was lack of motivation in the area. Maybe you found out that there was a drug seller around who would ensure that students were getting drugs and they didn't pay attention to academics. So tell us, what did you find out there? With the conclusion, I've discovered that students have an issue with conclusion. You are not concluding the report. You are concluding on the issues. Is there an issue? You are told by the principal to go and research, do a research, go and have a committee so that you find out why there is a high case of school dropouts. So you found out. What did you conclude? Is there an issue of high school dropout or there is no issue? So you are concluding on your findings. You're not concluding the report. I don't know if I'm making sense. Comment down below and tell me whether I'm making sense when I'm talking about conclusion here. You can see I've emphasized on it because I've realized that students have a problem with that. That you have the conclusion on this is an issue. You can say we discovered that this is an issue that needs urgent address. Now that urgent address takes us to the Recommendations. So you will write down there as a subheading, recommendations. The following recommendations were made. Number 1, no drug peddler should be seen 5 kilometers near or at the school premises. Number 2, get motivational speakers who will motivate students and guide them on career paths. Number 3, so you can see I am numbering my recommendations. You can have 3 recommendations or 2 of them. You write them in order of importance. Are we clear, students? Now you have finished your report. You need to tell us who has been compiling this report. You are a committee of 5 members. Who came up with this report? Who was writing down everything that was there? So you will write down there your name, assuming this is your name here, Isaac Newton. So you will write report compiled by Isaac Newton. You place your signature there. Are you the secretary? Are you the chairperson? Which is your position in that committee? 20/20 is what you will earn if you do that. So what have I said? You pay attention to the format, the body, and the language. So that's you do very well in your report writing. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Keep sharing this content. Bye.